Welcome back to another episode of the Final Siren, where we look at Craig McRae's post-match press conference and a couple of other interviews with the boys after the game. This time it'll be Nick Daicos and Darcy Cameron. I haven't watched Fly's presser yet, so we'll be watching it together. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Do we ignore it because of the way in which it was just so difficult for you to score when you've got that dominance of inside 50?
Again, get microphones for these journos. Bloody hell.
Yeah. There's a wing territory. Difficult to move the ball in conditions. Set the ground up really well behind it, and then when you go back in, there's high density. So that's real, and we've had that against Freo too. Dominant inside 50s and then can't connect.
Yep.
Don't score, but the reality of that style of game is Lee Matthews' old way he'd say it was it's going to be hard for us to score, make it impossible for them.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. He talked about density and stuff, and at times we were just very slow to move the ball in forward. And when you're doing those little chip kicks around, it just gives the Crows more time to push defenders back. There was a time, it might have been in the fourth quarter, where it's hard. It's a double-edged sword, because if we had gone long in, that's what we're saying that we don't want. But then you chip it around and they just flood more of their defenders back. I reckon at one point they had 15 or 16 guys in that defensive 50, as they should. Like, we obviously would have done the same, but we just gave them enough time to set up, and then it just came back the opposite way numerous times. So it's a real fine line, and we did thereabouts make it impossible for them to score. What did they score? 9 goals or something. So we did pretty well defensively, but you want to kick a winning score as well.
And that when we lived that for most of the night. The inside 50 number says that. We've got some work to do on our connection inside 50s. But again, it's hard. It's wet conditions, trying to kick it to contest, then trying to get to forward 50 stoppages.
Yeah.
I think we had 39 forward 50 stoppages or something like that.
I understand that. I understand that it's wet and stuff, but it's not even just that. It's the quality of the balls going inside 50. Like, yes, it's amazing that we had so many, right? It's amazing that we had so many, but I just, man, it's just frustrating, because the quality that the forward 50 entries have had, even for these past few weeks, the forwards just aren't connecting with the midfielders, or the midfielders aren't connecting with the forwards. And I think personally it's just about lowering the eyes, and that's just not what we're doing.
Kick 3 points. So you got to find other ways to score. That's the numbers, but we sit here, we didn't get the 4 points, but internally we know we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah. And that's the big thing. I feel like after this game, and I said it in my review, we are definitely heading in the right direction. And we are, the system, we backed it up. We backed up all the talk from the week. Craig McRae backed it up from his presser last week, and we do look good. It's just that, it's that connection.
Has that been encouraged after the past few weeks, the effort and the way you started, an encouraging sign for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think put the jumper on this week. There's a lot more pride in the way we went
Yep.
about it.
Yep.
Small margins, little moments, fighting right to the end when the scoreboard sort of got away from us a couple of times. There we found.
That's one thing that Fly said over the last couple of weeks. There was no fight. There was no pride in the jumper, and he didn't want to play boring football. This game was anything but boring. Even when no one was scoring in that second quarter, or maybe it was that third quarter, it still looked good. It was an arm wrestle. It was a classic finals game. And for the last couple of weeks, we have looked boring, except for bits and pieces in the Brisbane game. Definitely all throughout that Hawthorn game. And we showed the Collingwood of old. And that's what you want to see. Yes, the 4 points would have been incredible, but that's what you want to see. So the coaches are getting through to the players. There's just a couple of minute details that need to be ironed out.
And a way to get the scoreboard back closer. Internal belief that game was there for us to win, and
Yep.
numbers were suggesting that we're dominant in clearance and all these other things. So,
Yeah.
we didn't quite get the 4 points, but again, we leave here not with our tail between our legs.
That's a big thing.
Further ahead, of course.
No, I thought that was about the right margin. The kick on the siren helped. I thought we had dominance, and the game was a bit different when it wasn't wet. We could move the ball, change the angles. You could mark the ball a bit easier.
That's it's not gonna. Hopefully, it's not gonna be raining in September. Like remember when Collingwood used to be a good wet weather team, and now I feel like we've just gone a little bit away from that. And today was evident. I don't know. They just didn't seem to have a different sort of game plan for the wet, except for just bomb along, gain territory. And I know wet football is, gaining territory and things like that. So I understand that. But we just have to be smarter about it.
We started well. We needed to, though. We needed to. We worked all week. I was really proud of our coaches. Putting some things in front of the players that wasn't good enough for us. Around our system and around our effort, and it's really pleasing we can turn it around.
We reviewed it really
we've
well.
got more work to do, absolutely, but again, I think we're heading in the right direction.
So from the outside, we've all been wondering where you're at because of those losses, or whether you were preparing for something else later in the year. You're on the inside. What has been the reality of?
Good question.
Yeah, sorry, which part of the last? No, I thought we were playing some really good footy and just. Not quite getting the job done. Gold Coast, we kicked 10 points before we kicked a goal. Fremantle, we dominated a lot of the play. We're 20-odd points up, lose by a point. Bounced back against Richmond, and then we had a good half against Brisbane and had a poor quarter and a half, and then we had a really bad game against Hawthorn, a good opposition, who make most teams look silly if you don't turn up.
Almost like a decline of the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, we had to bounce back this week, and I think we turned the narrative around internally, again, that we think that stuff will stack up. There's an energy for that. That'll stack up.
And I think we did really, really see that. I know I sound like a broken record, but we have seen the best Collingwood football that we've seen. Maybe not a four. I reckon it was about. Would you call it a 3-quarter performance? But it has stacked up, and like Fly just said, I feel like they really reviewed that Hawthorn game absolutely hard, and we do have a couple of tricks up our sleeve, and we started to see that.
Yeah.
We almost throw that out and go, tonight, this is the kind we should expect to show up.
Well, I was hoping someone. I don't want to make excuses, but we do the maths. 3 games in 12 days.
That's it. I said that. No, I said that, and no one else in the media was talking about it, which is really odd because, because if a Collingwood supporter talks about it, if I post about this and say, we had 3 games in 11 days, every opposition supporter comes out and says, you're looking for excuses. It's like, well, it's 3 games in 11 days, 2 against top 4 quality sides. Then we have that 9-day break and look at the football that we can play.
There's going to be a cost somewhere, and our performance is well below par, and we don't want to use excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
But when we have more time to prepare, we like to think we can get the type of performance we had tonight. But that's not always going to be the case. We've got to turn up.
And that's exactly it as well. Not using it as an excuse. You still have to turn up, but you can see why. But you still have to turn up and play football. You can't just go to the Hawthorn game and say, this is our 3rd game in 12 days. We're just not going to turn up. You still have to compete. But the break clearly really helped us. And then we play Melbourne on the Friday. So we get a six-ish day break. So that's going to be good.
But we've got 6 days now to get ourselves ready to play
he just
Melbourne and control our own narrative.
Feel that it does stay the same. It's a big hit with all the various complexities, but you're back here in week 1 of the finals.
That'd be good, huh?
Do you feel comfortable coming back here? Do you feel like you can absolutely...
There's an energy that we're good enough.
Yeah,
Doesn't
we are.
matter who we play, when we play. There is an energy for that when we play a certain way.
Yep,
and
agreed.
Our pressure was enormous tonight. We had 20-odd more tackles.
Yep.
Our clearance stuff improved. We worked on that.
Yeah, that was something that we've been lacking, I reckon, for the last 8 weeks. Has just been our clearance work. And to come up against the best team in the competition and win on clearances, I don't know how much we actually scored from clearances, which probably wasn't a lot, I wouldn't say, because we're not a high clearance scoring team. But that was something good to see. You can see that they're working on things. That's why I'm keeping so positive. That's why I'm keeping the faith.
I had to get that right. Got more territory from that, and then there's always something to work on. You're always getting feedback on your game and our connections off 50 in tricky conditions. I think we got some things we can improve. I was just saying in the rooms, when you have a close loss, you think about moments. You go, oh, if only that didn't happen, or if we did that.
Yeah.
I don't have many of those. I'm not sure if you do.
Okay.
But I'm sitting there going, we gave everything right to the end, and
Yeah.
they were just a fraction better in moments. And
Yeah.
I don't have any like what ifs or if onlys though.
And I remember Fly, I think he might have said this after the Sydney prelim a couple of years ago when we lost, that we don't live in what ifs and stuff. And it looks like he's just, keeping that mentality. And as supporters, we'll always, what if that throw was called? What if Thilthorpe, we gave away a free kick there? What if we didn't, what if we scored a goal in the second quarter? So we will always live in those. As supporters, I think we live in those moments. And I think it's a good lesson to not, but it's hard not to. It's hard not to, because I love a what if.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that.
You spoke then a couple of times about the system. Years ago when we'd asked about those close wins, you say we believe in the system, they
Yep.
know the system, they play it.
Yep.
Are they needing to still believe in that system, or is the system needing to change because everyone else has caught up with what you were doing?
No, I think the game
good question.
you've never got that handle. There's no way you can say, oh, you're going to get this happen all the time. But again, we went into certain modes of transport there with the ball, and we scored late in the game when we had to keep us close, and then at the end.
That's the most annoying thing about this game was, like, at the end we were scoring goals when we needed to, which is great. We obviously needed to score. Why couldn't we be scoring those goals in the second and the third quarter? That's what bloody annoys me.
And there's again small margins, lots of density around the ball, and yeah, it was a hard game. It was a finals type game. I think it will suit both teams well, and credit to them. That I think they're minor premiers now. Congratulations, they had a fantastic year. Matty Nicks has done a great job. I'm
15th to first.
From afar of Matty Nicks,
Incredible.
the job he's done here to build this team, and it's a huge achievement for the Adelaide Crows, and puts them in a good place.
What is it about this matchup that keeps bringing these close ones? It's 6 in a row, I think.
Yeah. No, it's our first loss here for a while, so.
I'll say it again. I'd rather lose to him in round 23 than in an elimination or a qualifying or a prelim or a grand final.
Yeah, I think there's really, really quality matchups and styles that challenge each other. We want to keep the game open at times and then close it down, and they want to do a bit of the same. It was a real tactical battle tonight. I think both teams were prepared to have an extra at times, and which made it hard to score, but that was sort of serving us well in terms of territory.
Yep.
Not sure if that'll be the case in the future.
You're used to having the crowd lift you over the line. Do you feel, I know it's a cliche sometimes, but given how one-sided the support was, or being a few thousand travelling by teams, do you feel that can give Adelaide a lift?
Oh, I think it always helps, doesn't it? Like, you get the crowd roaring for you, roaring against you. That, whether the umpires sort of get affected by that's real.
Ooh. Naughty. Whether the umpires get affected by the home crowd or not is naughty. But yeah, the Adelaide Crow fans, even though they were booing most of the time, they were bloody loud. And credit to them, it was the biggest home and away crowd at Adelaide Oval. Collingwood do that, right? Collingwood have that effect. So we need to bring this on Monday. On Monday against Melbourne. We need to bring this against Melbourne. That crowd, that 19th man, the boys live on it. They feed off us.
But I don't think it affected the game, any of that. There's a period in the second quarter, we knew that they'd come. Watching them historically in the last period, that they have patches, they go bang, 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 and they mostly put them marginal in opposition. We were determined not to have that tonight. So they got 2 or 3 goals in a row. We felt we stabilised the game for about 15 minutes. No one scored.
Yeah.
And I think that was an important part of the game, going at half-time just fraction down, because 54,000 screaming for you creates a lot of energy. We thought we played that game well tactically.
You say there wasn't that what-if moment that you usually get in a close game. Are you believing, though, you get this chance again, but you might do in a couple of weeks, a couple of things you'd like to do differently? You already got that in mind?
Yeah. I'd like for it not to bloody rain if we play them again, that's for sure.
Well, the connection piece is one. Have that many inside 50s, you'd love to score more. The forward 50 stuff, you'd love to think, you have 39, surely kick a goal. Surely there's a free kick, or there's someone's hanging on like Rankin did. Those things happen when you have that much territory. I'll watch the tape to add a couple more. If we're back here, I don't want to give them everything we're going to work on.
Yeah.
That personnel was great. Are we how back next week? Is there any other?
No, Yeah, we're pretty healthy at the moment. No
Good.
injuries at VFL, no injuries here at this stage.
That's good.
Howie should be available through protocols.
That's Howie. We have Howie. I don't know. I don't know. We have Howie. We win that game maybe with his intercept marking and stuff. But that would be a really really big inclusion next week against Melbourne and leading into finals.
Bobby's getting better every day. Not sure he'll be available next week, but he's
Bobby is getting better every day. Not sure if he'll be available next week. I'm just going to leave it there.
it's pleasing to have him back this week, training hard for us, and yeah, we might strengthen up a little bit, especially with someone like Howie available.
Did Hill join the group yet?
No, he didn't come over.
Because there was a story going around that he flew to Adelaide.
Yeah, there was no expectation on that. No.
Interesting. Okay, so it was reported that Hill flew over with the boys. Apparently, well, not apparently. Fly wouldn't lie to us. He didn't fly over. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna stop reporting or not reporting, about Hill unless it's something from the club now. I don't want to put fuel on any more fires.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay. And now we'll go straight into oh no. Okay, no. That was a good presser. Definitely not as angry as he was last week. There were a couple of nice things to take away from that. But the main thing is the system stacked up. Our pressure was up. It's just that connection. And Fly said it probably about a half a dozen times. That's what we have to get to work on before the Melbourne game and tune that up, because once that Melbourne game's done, we don't have another practice game. We go into a break and then into the first final, which will probably be against Adelaide. I'm going to do a ladder predictor video coming out soon. But the interesting part about that is Bobby not playing next week, or probably not playing next week. That's going to be yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right, we've got Nick Daicos with Mark Rashudo.
I see, Nick, that was a tough loss. You take a lot from the game, but I think it was a really positive game for both teams.
First quarter, you had a crack, 5-1 on the road. The pressure was really high.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we came out with the intent of sort of attacking them and putting them on the back foot, but the rain came and I thought we sort of went a bit more defensive. Adelaide opened us up a little bit more, so it's something to look at.
Efficiency going in forward 50 was again a trouble tonight, and you've been the 18th best side of that over the last month or so. What do you need to do to tie? Because
All right, so now we've got Nick Daicos with Mark Rashudo.
Because Nick, that was a tough loss. You gave it a good crack though.
No, absolutely. I thought it was a really good game, good contest from both teams.
Mark Rashudo would be loving this, being an Adelaide legend.
And unfortunately couldn't quite get over the top of Adelaide, who obviously is such a strong team this year. So we'll take a lot from the game, but I think it was a really positive game for both teams.
First quarter, you had a crack, 5-1 on the road. The pressure was really high.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we came out with the intent of sort of attacking them and putting them on the back foot, but...
And I think we did. I think we did put them on the back foot. It's just that we knew they were going to come back, and we just didn't have those answers in that second quarter.
The rain came and I thought we sort of went a bit more defensive. Adelaide opened us up a little bit more, so it's something to look at.
Yeah, went into our shells a little bit.
Efficiency going inside forward 50 was again a trouble tonight, and you've been the 18th best side of that over the last month or so.
That's wild. That's wild. So in the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've been the 18th side for converting inside 50s into goals. Oh my God, that's alarm bells. That's going to cost us a flag. That'll cost us a flag if we don't fix that. How do you fix that?
What do you need to do to tidy that up?
Oh, it's probably just on the midfield. I think the forward line set up really well. So probably just on us to tidy up a few things and get to work. And we've got such a dynamic forward line, so if we can get them out in space, no doubt we'll be a better team.
The crowd were pretty loud today. That was a record for Adelaide Oval. You're used to big crowds at the MCG. Was it any different? How did it feel?
No, it was an awesome atmosphere. I think the Adelaide fans made it feel a little bit hostile. It was awesome.
It's wild that we usually bring the hostile crowds, and Adelaide, you could hear it from the TV. They were so bloody loud, especially in that last quarter. It was actually really good to see.
To come on the road and, the fans are going crazy at the end, which is a credit to them because their team's playing great footy.
Big game now, Melbourne next week.
Absolutely, yeah. Melbourne always play really well against us and they've been playing well the last couple of weeks. So, no doubt we'll go to work on a few things this week and come out strong.
All right, good luck, mate.
Melbourne got smashed by Hawthorn, and watch them, will only win by a couple of goals next week. You can just see it coming. Melbourne plays so well against us for some bloody reason. They match up really well against us. Not too insightful here, saying that the mids are what needs to change the forward connection. I think the forwards need to change. There has to be something. Selwood needs to get to work and fix this mid to forward connection. So now we'll go into Darcy Cameron.
And have a good finals.
Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Not the way we wanted the night to go, but still a lot to be proud of. How do you reflect on it?
Oh, there was a lot to like. I think we dominated inside 50 count. Our pressure.
Definitely a lot to like. Yeah, we dominated the inside 50 count, but not too happy about that, to be honest.
It was back to our best. Our system
Agreed.
looked really good. Just probably didn't get the reward we were after, but I think moving forward we're going to take a lot from that.
Yeah, as you said, 71 inside 50s to their 37. Had a lot of territory across the whole night.
God, it just sounds so pathetic. 71 inside 50s to 37 and losing. It's just, oh my God, that's just so stupid. It's just so stupid.
But just not able to hit the scoreboard. What do you think was the reason behind that?
I think we can just work on a few things about connection inside 50 and
There's that connection piece again.
getting better looks. But yeah, I can't really speak to it just yet. I think the real pleasing thing is how many we got.
Look, and he's right. The pleasing thing is that we can generate that, but you want to be scoring more goals. Like, you can generate 100 inside 50s, but the way we're going forward, you could have Tony Lockett, Gordon Coventry, fucking Jonathan Brown up forward, and you probably still wouldn't be kicking goals because the quality going forward wasn't good. I'd rather have 35 inside 50s and kick 12 goals or 15 goals than have 71 and kick 8.
Tied up a few things. It's really exciting for what we can do going forward.
As a senior player, what's your message to the rest of the group after that effort?
I think we should all be very excited about what we can bring moving into finals.
Yeah, I am very excited. I'm very positive. I'm feeling very positive after this game. Yeah, disappointing and stuff, but I am feeling very, very positive, and you can see that in my review of the game.
You see our system and our pressure stacks up, and I think even though we lost, we're going to be very excited and take a lot moving forward.
We will.
Our last game of the home and away season next week against the D's. What's our focus going into that game, do you think?
We'll get the win.
Fix the inside 50s.
It's important that we finish the season off on a strong note. And yeah, just bring what we did tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
if we bring what we did tonight, we win the game against the Demons, and hopefully it's a clear day. I don't think we'll be having 71 inside 50s, but if we bring that pressure, we bring that intensity, we could beat anyone with that. Again, it's just that connection piece.
It's good for us, and
yeah, it does. Back to the good
next
pies.
week is Magpie Army Thank You Week. What's your message to the fans after tonight and going into next week?
Yeah, they're the best fans in the world. We're so lucky to have them. They support us so strong throughout the year, and they always turn up no matter what. So I'm really excited to be back at the G, and then the loud and proud Magpie Army.
And just a quick one on one of your teammates. There was plenty of great performers tonight, but Crispy had a PB, 13 tackles.
Crispy was probably my best on ground. I thought, last week I called him out and said he needed to sharpen up, and he hadn't looked like he has for a while. He's been really down. He absolutely smashed it today, like you just heard. 13 tackles, personal best. That's incredible. I'll make a post about that because that's an incredible effort. Kicked a really good goal when we needed him to as well.
And it seemed like the team really brought the pressure. But do you have a word on Crispy's performance tonight?
Yeah, Crispy was everywhere tonight. He even clutched up late, kicked a really important goal for us.
Good goal.
And gave us a chance. But his pressures when he's laying tackles and putting a lot of pressure on, that's when he's at his best, and it was really good to see him like that tonight.
Look, I thought, Crispy was great. It was, DC said pretty much the same thing, sort of. Nick said, not super, insightful and stuff, but pretty much that connection. They know that they're on the right track. Nick used the word positive. Darcy Cameron used the word exciting and to be excited about what we can bring in and finals. And we are definitely playing finals, and I'm actually really excited. I'm looking forward to it. Just got to get past Melbourne and not even get past Melbourne. We've got to go through Melbourne. We've got to absolutely go through Melbourne. But I saw what I needed to see today, and Craig McRae's press conference gave me a lot of yeah, like a lot of positivity, a lot of excitement as well. They know what they need to change, but they worked on it. You know, pretty much saying the reviews and stuff. And I like the little umpire call out as well. But pretty much saying, you know, we reviewed it hard because that Hawthorn game and the Brisbane game were absolutely shithouse, and the reviews obviously clearly worked well. But now let's review this Inside 50. But that's been the final siren. Let me know your thoughts down below on the presses and the interviews. What did you like? What didn't you like from what they were saying? But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll sweep you later.